everyone, I'm Chester44 and welcome to this Let's Play of Tyranny. Last episode, we had a big long conversation with all of our companions, one by one. Oh no, wait, I forgot, we didn't actually speak with Siren.
It is good to see you. What do you need?
Siren has nothing to say. Okay! Anyway, we have side quests for our three main characters, Barrack, Verse, and Lantry. Nothing for Ebb, nothing for Siren, nothing for Kills and Shadow. So, because of that, we need to figure out where we're going to go next. I've got River's Break here, which is actually very nearby. I think maybe we'll go there first. Cacophony, we're not going to go to right now. Where's Lantry's home? Oh, Lantry's hideaway. Really? It's all the way up there. Well, you know what I think we'll do? I think we'll go to River's Break first for Verse. I think we have the time. It's really very nearby. A small farmstead located near a fork in a small river. Far from the trade routes through the valley, Essa tailored this holding for self-sustainability rather than any attempt to engage in agricultural trade. We should get a reply from Blood and Mark when we get here. Because he basically said, hey, no offense, I'm probably going to be killing you. Yep, received a missive. Kid, if I haven't said it before, I'll say it now. I'm going to enjoy killing you. Can't wait for the execution order. I'll be anticipating your arrival at the court. Don't snuff the lights. Okay then. Well, let's see. Oh boy. Windborne ash assaulted your senses even before you reached River's Break. By the time the farmstead came into view, the burning smell was joined by those of charred, rotting flesh and blasted vegetation. The house stands in ruins, the plaster cracked and blackened. Verse steps forward, arms slack at her sides, mouth slightly agape. What the Kairos-loving shit? What happened here? Fire by the looks of it. No small flame either. Let's poke around. Maybe there's something here that'll give us a better sense of who did this. And why. Yeah, I agree. The charred and smoldering corpse of an older woman. Essa. Fuck. Verse sinks to her knees in the ashes and touches the charred and peeling face. After a moment of silence, she looks up to you, then shakes her head. I could have given her a clean death, and instead she ends up here, burned alive. That's mercy for you. She glances down at her blackened palms. This isn't your fault. No shit, this isn't my fault. And when we find the fuckers whose fault it is, I'm going to make damn sure they understand the pain of being roasted like a pig on a spit. Let's figure out what happened here, Fatebinder. Then we'll go mete out some justice. The charred and smoldering corpse of an older woman has been dumped unceremoniously on the ground. Well, let's see. Crates and plants litter the ground in disarray, perhaps strewn about during a scuffle. What a mess. Whoever came here decided to throw down among themselves. If that doesn't scream Scarlet Chorus, I'm the last queen of Apex. Deep gouges mar this doorframe, a few slivers of blackened. Somebody pried this door open. Someone with iron. She runs a finger along the doorframe. The disfavored may have the collective brain capacity of a crate filled with stone, but they treat their weapons like each one is the daughter of Kairos. Disgraceful. The Overlord and the Great General gifted us iron that we might spill the blood of our enemies, not to lever open a stubborn door. Barrack glances at the door, his head bowed. A few slivers of blackened iron hide embedded among the slivers. Shattered crates lie scattered and burned across the ground.
These were here before, weren't they? Can't say they seem very useful now.
Clearly. Seems to be more to investigate over here. The corner of the ruined home seems particularly charred, the scorch marks unusually intense and focused. Look at this, Fatebinder. Verse points at the blasted remnants of the wall. I've seen a lot of fires in my time, and this is that very special pattern of burning that only happens with magic. She kneels, fingers running over the ashes. See these marks? Sigil work, and too clean for blood chanters. Probably a sage, if were I to guess. Sages did this. If you know of another organized society of magic users who like to control information, I'll happily look their way. Good eye indeed. I believe this was done with a sigil of fire by way of the Sun Queen, as opposed to that of Thousand Embers' erratic brand of fire. You can tell by the tined pattern at the burn edges. The overall blast pattern suggests a thorough understanding of modern expressive techniques, while the... And now I'm boring us all. Apologies. The overhang behind the tree seems to have collapsed from the fire.
Is there anything better than the old, familiar scent of a burned-out farmhouse? What?
Eden. Faint tracks disturb the soil. Nice find, Fatebinder. Verse sinks to one knee. These tracks are faint. Even with the earth as dry as it is, whoever left them was traveling light. They couldn't have carried much gear. Her attention turns to the eastern horizon.
We've got a burned farmstead and multiple fire wards set around it. That reeks of our missing fire mage Catorius. There's chorus and disfavored shit all over the place. Given how shoddily maintained the iron is, I'm guessing it's all chorus shit.
Could Catorius have been conscripted?
We can always ask him when we find him, assuming I let him live long enough to form an answer. The nearest stronghold is a sad little pile of palisades on the edge of the contested lands called Fort Squander. The disfavored used to hold those walls, so that could go a ways towards explaining their arms being scattered around here. Come on. We've got a sage to track.
You okay? You seem a little intense.
Yeah, I'm... The fire. It reminds me of Red Geyser.
Tell me about her.
She loved fire. Loved it more than any other fury. Loved it more than the blood chanters, maybe. They twist and pull it, summon it. She made a partner of it. Let it lead her dance. Once she lured these Azure scouts into a clearing. They're tracking this lone woman, then all around them torches blaze. Geyser sets these pitch-headed arrows to the flames before putting them into one of the scouts' eyes. An arrow per eye, hissing and popping. Then she charges into the scouts with this burning crescent, this axe, the head as long as your arm and pitched. They swing at her, but it's all fire and blood to her. She shoulders them aside, and we take them apart. That's where she got her name. The spray from an opened neck.
Wish I'd seen it.
To look at her back, at her chest. No one would fault you for mistaking her for a man of labor. 8 more than the rest of us combined. All she took to with everything in her. She was obsessed with proving herself to the voices. He'd given her this second life in the Howling Choir, and she was gonna make good and fucking sure that she earned it every day. She was one of the good ones, Binder. As good as anyone on this filthy peninsula. I'm glad I got to tell you about her. She lives on a bit in that. Now, let's be off.
Verse cracks her knuckles and nods. A small bed of rocks juts from the rough dirt. Yeah, I didn't think that would have anything to do with anything. Fort Squander, then, eh? Well, there it is. Located at the confluence of 3 realms, this noisome fortress would seem situated in a tactically strategic position, if any major roads passed near it. After the first fall of Vendrian's Well, the disfavored left open only a token garrison, who were slaughtered by the Crimson Horde when hostilities engulfed the 2 armies. Oh, your journey is interrupted by a messenger from the mountain spire. A short young man with a lank flop of dark hair and a surprisingly full beard, the messenger bears bloodshot eyes and a nervous disposition. Ever since your issuance of the edict against your foes at Vendrian's Well, the courier tells you, the Valley of Apex has been beset by an ever-increasing number of Bane. The creatures seem inimical to all life, and their predations have the people of Apex hiding in terror rather than tending the fields. If this keeps up, the lands you've claimed will not be able to support your spire, regardless of how rapacious your tax collectors become. The messenger asks what orders you wish returned to the spire. Inquire further, give your orders, ignore the Bane. Inquire further. You press the messenger for more details. He tells you that there have been scattered Banes sighted throughout the valley, but they're thickest around Vendrian's Well Citadel and in the mountains that ring the Old Dominion. They've attacked a handful of travelers and devastated livestock throughout the valley. Given that the farms are still recovering from the conquest, the rise of the Vendrian Guard, and the subsequent civil war between the Archons, it couldn't be a worse time for Bane to appear in Apex. Give your orders. Lure the Bane away, request aid from your allies, or ignore the Bane. You consider how best to deal with the threat your edict has stirred. Request aid from your allies. You prepare a missive of your own, but which allies will you reach out to for aid against the Bane? The Disfavored, the Court of Fatebinders, the Court of Fatebinders. You address your missive to Nunaval, Fatebinder of War, in the Bastard City, and request his aid in the Valley of Apex. You note that normally you wouldn't tax the Adjudicator's agents with such a menial task, but you thought he might enjoy the opportunity to set his mettle against the Bane. You suggest that Rogulis too may be interested in their study, and could certainly add to the surety of a victory over the arcane horrors. The messenger takes her missive and leaves to find a bird to Tunon's court. Favor with the Avengrian Guard? Okay. Wrath from Tunon, a little bit. And Mark, I gained favor. Interesting. If I can gain favor with Mark, that's not a bad thing, I think. Alright, let's take a look at this fort. And see what we can find. It is nice and fertile here. I will say that. There's a lot of space to this region, surprisingly. Ah, there's the fort. That's the edge of the map. Yep, this fort was claimed by Scarlet Course. Hold on, we have things to speak with. First barrack. I can scarcely believe it. You proclaimed an edict. You wielded the power of the Overlord, for a moment perhaps, but it was enough to turn the tide of battle in our favor. That simply doesn't happen. The Overlord's magic is as unknowable as anything on Taratus, as mysterious and, well, I was about to say as unapproachable as the spires, but you have cleanly dispelled that notion. What do you suggest I do next? Hold fast to your loyalties in the Overlord's hierarchy. There's always the chance that Kairos will leave you alone if your fealty is true, but I offer no guarantees. That is what I would do anyway. You must follow your own path. This can only mean trouble for us. Kairos doesn't tolerate competition. No, indeed. I wouldn't want to stand in your place when the day of reckoning comes, but standing next to you might prove just as dangerous.
What can I do for you?
Alright. And Verse has something to say. Are you trying to piss everyone off, or do you just do this for fun? I'm not judging either way, I'm just curious. Casting an edict on Vengrian's Well is a good way to shine a beacon on yourself. Or paint a target. I saved your skin, didn't I? Sure did, for now. Like I said, I'm not trying to prod you or suggest you made the wrong call. As someone who likes to stay discreet until she has the opening to strike a killing blow, I find your little public gesture of dominance, well, quaint. Charming, in a dumb way. Right. Let's continue looking around, as I do. See inside the fort there. There's quite a bit to this fort. Didn't expect it to be so big. I'm actually a little impressed. Alright, down this way. Excuse me. And over here. This place is manned by a skeleton crew. Could be that half the choirmen are out raiding, but I don't like it. Either way, this is our best opportunity to get in and out without having to cut our way through 100 chorus scrubs. Unless it's a trap. Never far from my mind, Fatebinder, but it pays to keep on one's toes. Let's say you and I go bind ourselves some fates. Huh, that's one way to put it. Let me just uncover the rest of the outside here. And the music has gotten all ominous. Blood stains the walls, thick as layered paint, and dead flies stick to its tacky surface. There seems to be too much gore to be the result of battle, but if it's supposed to be decor, its meaning is lost in its mad excess. Well, looks like all we're going to be doing is fighting.
Look at that, future glory.
I guess get on the stab a bit. That was effective.
Wait, I did that? Nice!
Where are you casting it? I think there was a better place to carry it past that. Okay. No, bring out the bow.
I see it and throw blood.
Don't worry, we can get these guys dead. Shouldn't be too hard.
Pay attention, kids.
Almost
you might
got that
learn
one.
something.
Excellent. Fulmination, not a bad idea. Ooh, there's only one left. And you're using it anyway. And you missed.
This weapon is useless.
Hold on, finish this one off. And there we go. Okay, that's that bunch dealt with. There we go. Board boots, don't care much for those at the moment. Can loot this. What do we got? Items. Potion there that I never use. And a couple items there. Moving on. Shall clear this place out. Interesting. Despite the fort being big, there's it's a very linear path here. There's gotta be more. Don't know why that wasn't showing up there. Where are the rest? Are we going to be fighting more coming out? A half-dozen corpses, most bearing disfavored brands on their skin, hang in various states of bloody abuse in this converted animal pen. It's unclear whether this torture served as interrogation or entertainment. Indeed. Looks like we're almost to the center of this place. Rust-marred iron weapons have been strewn haphazardly in this corner of the fort. Some seem to be vicious knives broken down from larger swords, while other blades boast new barbs or serrated edges. There he is. Catorius. A man spins to meet you as you enter the core of the stronghold, his carbon-black skin gleaming with a sheen of sooty sweat. Sweeps of gray ash smear his red robes, and he grasps in his hands the staff of a blood chanter, orange flames licking its length. This... Archon. His eyes flicker to you, and he bows his head slightly. Then you know who I am and why I'm here. That should make things quick and easy. Her eyes shimmer with the reflected light of Catorius' flame. Catorius? What a... pleasure? Lantry scratches at his arm with the point of his quill. Lantry, I see your tumescent support of the Overlord hasn't withered with age. I am but a simple servant to a Fatebinder. He offers his open palms, empty of all save smeared ink and the quill dangling from between two fingers. And I'm the Archon of Youth Everlasting. He chuckles, a sound not unlike gravel shaken in a bag. Lantry, introductions are in order. Allow me to introduce Catorius the Younger, sage of the School of Ink and Quill, master of the Pyrrhic arts. He bows slightly, flourishing his hand toward the fire mage. Catorius, this is Jason Pendragon, the Archon of, well, of the Mountain Spire, I suppose. A pleasure, Archon. He bows slightly, but doesn't take his eyes off of you or Verse. You seem pretty damned matter-of-fact about it for someone whose remaining life is measured in hours. Oh, so long. You think I'm going to make it quick, Kindling Cock? No, I'm going to savor this nice and slow. Catorius rings his staff with both hands and regards you with narrowed eyes. How did I come to earn your unbridled enmity? You let Crocus live and he was easily the worst of us. That wasn't my fucking call. Verse's weapon appears in her hands. Hold, Fury! Aren't you the slightest bit curious about why the man who killed your Fury friends holds a tent in the middle of a Kairos forsaken Scarlet Chorus encampment? He holds out a flat, filthy palm. I have a feeling I can guess. That stops Verse short. Her eyes, when she looks at you, have widened with doubt. It's all been a ruse. Ruse? What are you even talking about? Clever, Archon. I'd heard that the Adjudicator trains his agents well in the arts of reason. Simply put, I am a creature of the voices of Nerat. Have you no honor, sage? Varric steps to Versa's side. The voices? What are you trying to say? The chorus took me and everyone in my village almost 4 years ago, my wife included. I think you'd like Marion, were she not wrapped up in all of this. She's broad of shoulders, muscled like a beast woman, her spirit full of oil and fire. Marion sounds like the name of no choirman I've ever met. That's her true name, not her conscript name. I wouldn't call her by that. Let me guess, the voices used her to control you.
You learn something every day.
Muscle matters in the chorus, but a vicious killer is just a pawn to the Archon of Secrets. Only knowledge truly matters. That made me valuable to them. Marion, less so. He stares into the magical flame coiling at the head of his staff. So you cut a deal. Her upper lip curls back, revealing a sharp yellowed canine. I told them I'd do whatever they wanted, so long as they kept her out of their more sacrificial operations. He lets loose another long sigh, shoulders sinking slightly as if under a growing burden. As a tearsman and a sage, I could go places the voices people couldn't, join causes that they couldn't. Long before the Tarkus clan reached an agreement with the sages to slaughter the garrison at Vendrian's Well Citadel, I helped Tarkus Deimos plan his resistance. The voices allowed the Oathbreakers to slaughter the chorus's expendable gangs as distractions for their true objectives. And the voices thought Verse and her sisters expendable. Bullshit! Each fury is worth 24 conscripts. A sisterhood that dances together like ours? There's no more vicious force in the whole fucking field of war. I think you're right. Or something like right. We weren't supposed to kill you, and we weren't supposed to take you alive. The voices wanted you to witness your squad's deaths. But you didn't kill us all. You took Geyser. Verse's words carry the chill of winter. We captured one of you, yes. Orisa wanted to finish her off as a warning. Crocus thought we could sell her. I sided with him and suggested a ransom to the Archon of Secrets. That's what we did. I got your friend home to the voices. His gaze rises to Versus. You expect us to believe Nerat cared enough about one of his own to purchase her back? I'm not sure it matters what you believe. You lie. Red Geyser, my sister is dead. Mismatched eyes glare from beneath a lowered brow. If so, she was killed after we left her with the Archon. Which I suppose brings us to the present. The voices left me with standing orders. If you ever figured out the truth of it, I was to bring you to them. So that's what happens next. He rubs the bridge of his nose. Which is why I've kept you talking until the reinforcements returned from patrol. In the brief silence that follows, you discern quiet chatter and the sound of boots on dry earth from elsewhere in the earth. Help us and we'll help you. If I don't bring you back, it doesn't matter whether or not I died in the trying. The voices of Nerat will murder Marion. He lifts his staff and the flames along its length brighten, illuminating runes burned into the wood. The only other way to save her would be to kill the Archon of Secrets. Then we kill the Archon of Secrets. There are more soldiers coming into the fortress now than you felled on your way to me. Yet if anyone can kill the Archon of Secrets, it would be you. His chapped lips purse. Not me, us, but first we have to get free of here. Then this conversation is over, right? Murderous anger flickers with reflected flame in her eyes as she glares hungrily at Catorius. What do you want, Verse? I trust you to make the right call. Easiest choice I've ever made. I'm going to enjoy this dance, Catorius. For Red Geyser. Verse grins at Catorius. That's a damn shame, Archon. Looks like your friendship with the chorus rat will be your demise. He readies his staff as the sounds of the approaching chorus gangs grow louder. Oh, we leveled up. And here come the rest of the chorus.
Count.
Oh boy, this is gonna be a bit painful. Back up a little bit, please. And now, if you don't mind, cast that because it is very powerful and very useful. Katorius is dead. You, I think a fulmination would be effective.
Smash to pieces!
Oh, so much for that. Ooh, that is pretty. That must be the area healing effect.
Have your head! Time
That
to
was a
change
fucking
ways.
skill. Finish him off. There we go. Alright, we've got Blood Chanter Staff. Don't care much for that. We've got more loot here. Scarlet Fury Helms and Scarlet Fury Gloves. Loot this. And loot this. And now to fight our way out of here. Oh, first level up I got, which is very nice. I guess a bit more strength wouldn't be bad. As for the ability I'll get here... Maybe I should try and get to the highest point here. Although Killing Rush actually is a good thing to have, I think. So grab that. What is this one? Okay, moving on. Yeah, there's quite a few here.
I am a shield
Quite
wall
a
unto
few.
my...
Wow, that one died practically instantly. Why don't you take your daggers out again?
You got it.
Left you with the other thing.
Pity you won't enjoy this as much as I do.
Ooh, there's a good spot to cast it. That'll hit everyone.
Now I have to kill you.
Don't worry, you will.
Sweet!
You appear to be having problems, though.
Harsh words would cause more harm than this
Okay,
useless weapon.
you're gonna switch back to bow once we kill this one.
You have to hit harder than that!
Don't worry, we're about to.
Wait, I did that?
There we go.
I got it.
Verse, you're gonna switch back to your bow, because I like having you on bow.
Will do.
And it looks like we've got one more group to fight here. When did you guys get wounded? When and how did that happen?
Heads up, wave it up.
Right, you! You are going to cast... You can't cast it, but you can cast this. Actually, aim... too late. It's cast.
Pay attention, kid.
Really effective. And now, a casting of this around here is very effective. You will cast this, like so. You... I want you to get your fire on. And get that out. Jesus Christ, screaming is so painful. I mean, impressive, but still painful.
Consider it done.
Burn them all.
Smash to pieces!
Do finish off that guy. Thank you. Did that guy just explode? Okay, didn't expect that to happen.
This weapon is useless!
Come on, Finish him. One more to kill.
Try a different weapon.
Pity you won't enjoy this as much as I do.
Not sure if that's where I would have put the area healing, but okay.
Will do.
Try a different weapon.
And you missed.
This weapon is useless.
Not exactly sure why you did grounding core. It's kind of useless at the moment. Come on, finish him off. Finish him! Thank you. Alright, any more loot to get? No. Let's get out of here. Oh, first, Lantry, you leveled up. Ability and spell cooldown, that's definitely what I'm going to give you. And as for this... Recounting of Deeds. Oh yeah, you do have 3. Recounting of Deeds would be useful. We'll give him the Lore Master bonus. Then we're probably going to go back to Preservation, because once I get Recounting of Deeds, we'll be going back here and getting more. Anyway, let's get out of here. That should... Oh, hold on, we need all of you. Thank you.
On it.
Looks like this episode's gonna go a little longer as we run out of here. There's the ones we killed before. And now we leave. Shove that in your ballast holes, you bird-brained scrotum shits! Verse makes a series of creative hand gestures. Her voice shatters the thick silence that had fallen over the Palisades. Screw Catorius, screw his stupid wife, and screw the Archon of Secrets! She laughs as a cool breeze rolling off the mountains to the west unsettles her feathers. Snap out of it, soldier! I'm fine, Binder. Something in your tone causes Verse to pause and take stock. Lasping into silence, Verse stares up into a sky still smeared with the smoke of the burning library, puts both hands on her back just above her hips, and stretches, jutting her pelvis forward until her spine releases a series of satisfying snaps. Nothing simple in your wake, is it? With the voices I listened when I was supposed to listen, reported everything I heard, killed what he told me to kill. Black and white, black and red, anyway. I guess it was always more complicated, I just ignored the complexities. I can't operate solely on gut instinct anymore. My gut would see this whole damn peninsula burned to cinders, and then what? She massages her right eyebrow. Taratus rewards strength. I didn't think I was strong enough to move in, well, influential circles. And that, I don't know, makes me nervous. Ha! Listen to me. Next thing, I'll be wearing robes and making you call me Archon. Let's finish this later. I want to get out of this hole, Binder. She brushes the dust from her palms. Talk to Verse at the mountain spire. Let's do that. We need to go back to the mountain spire to rest anyway. Then I'll be ending the episode. Episode a little long, I know, but it's fine. As still as an owl on its perch, Verse stares in the direction of Cacophony, a warm breeze from the east playing at the feathers festooning her head.
Fatebinder.
Verse?
I feel my sisters twisting around inside me, Binder. I can't tell whether they're dancing or trying to cut their way out. Or both.
Sounds like you're trying to justify your own tumultuous feelings.
Maybe, like, all this passion, this wild, frenzied lust, it's actually coming from me. I'm just giving it my sister's voices. Or something.
She splays her fingers before her, apparently taking a vested interest in the grime beneath her nails.
It feels like all that's in front of me is a gorge so wide and so deep that there's nothing to see but wide open air. Say we come out of this with minds and bodies intact, you've got the tears and the Overlord has everything else. Then what?
I'll burn that bridge when I come to it.
Damn, Fatebinder. You're sounding more like me every day. I wonder if the Voices saw this coming when he tossed me on Law Dog detail. The Voices... I can't imagine him bending the knee to you. Whatever you've got planned, if you're walking into the heart of his power, you'd better be kitted for war.
I'll find a way to deal with the voices of Narat.
Are you just now looking for one? The Voices probably has 16 or 17 plots and counterplots already in motion. The Voices has more years behind him than a person can rightly imagine. If anyone's ever dug up a way to cheat the Void, it would be him. What if that way is me? We know he was preparing me for something. What if he made some trap door into me? What if he's hiding inside me right now?
You have to keep control of yourself.
You know, I'd never considered trying that. Got any suggestions on that front?
Figure out who verses and stay verse.
Now you're going to have me asking how I'm not myself? Don't try and turn me into a sage. We've got shit to do, right? Don't let me hold you up. And thanks, Fatebinder. Arcbinder.
Right. Confront the voices of Narat alongside Verse. That'll be done later. Verse has gained the Burning Hatred ability. So, let's see. Oh, it's an ability. Let's see. Skewer, Eternal Flame, Skull Splitter. I don't see it. Huh. Strange that I can't see it. Anyway, let's get a rest here, and then I am going to end this episode here, because it has definitely gone on long enough. Next episode, I think perhaps we'll deal with Lantry's quest. So I'm very curious what we'll find there. But that'll be in the next episode. So until then, I am Chester44. That is Jason Pendragon, Barak, Lantry, and Verse. This has been a Let's Play of Tyranny, and I shall see you all next time.